What's good, YouTube? It's the Sports Guru back with another video, and today I'm here to review an article that was written yesterday by Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer. He was talking about how the Dallas Mavericks could possibly be better than people think, or more developed in their rebuild process, I guess you could say. Not saying that they're going to be great, but they could be better than people think. And specifically, he mentioned that Dallas could possibly be the next Houston Rockets. Now, for some people, that may seem a little far-fetched, but for me, I just look at the starting lineup in this scenario, and I look at it, and I'm like, okay, the center, DeAndre Jordan, Clint Capella, they're literally match for match. They're like the two best traditional centers, along with Andre Drummond in the NBA. You know, those guys are right there. So that's match for match. And when you look at point guard, I understand that these are not all the same, but from an offensive perspective, you see Dennis in the Chris Paul role. Then you have Luka in the James Harden role. Then you have a few role players here, like, well, Harrison Barnes would be maybe in the Ariza role or the Tucker role, or Wes would be in the Tucker role. I know they're not the same as size. It's a little funky. It's different because the starting lineup is different because Luka is a 4 for the Mavericks right now, and James Harden is a 2. But it's you put it together, you piece it together. You see what I'm saying. You see what Kevin O'Connor is saying, and I find it very interesting. And I think Dallas could easily end up becoming that next dynasty. I'm not going to say easily, but they could end up becoming that next dynasty if they spend their money right over the next few years. They're going to have the cap to do it. They just got to get the right guys. I mean, if you keep DeAndre Jordan here over the next few years, which he should still be a solid player over the next few years, and not have to pay him $20 million or so, then you're doing something good. And also, by the time, this is my favorite part of how the Dallas Mavericks are finally coming out of their rebuild. You look at people like Golden State, Houston. Over the next 3 or 4 years, you're going to see some of these players get out of their prime. Maybe Kevin Durant over the next 3 or 4 years, when you have Dennis in the last year of his contract, Luka going into the third or last year of his contract, and we're going to have Dallas developing into a very, very good team. When a lot of these dynasties that we know are going to start to fall down, except for when you look at teams like Boston. Of course, they're going to stick around with all the talent they got. But in the West, there's going to be some teams that are going to fall over the next 3 or 4 years. You can't tell me everybody's still going to be sticking with each other. And we don't even know if LeBron's going to still be LeBron over the next 3 or 4 years. To me, that's a bit of a reach. So Dallas is going to peak at the right time if everything pans out. Now, what I also love, Dallas is going to have the cap space to, even next year, go ahead and put some role players around these guys. Yes, Dallas's bench is, in my opinion, compared to a lot of NBA benches, a little below average. They got Brokoff, who I really like. He could end up being around for a long time, possibly the next Joe Ingles, or anything close to that possibly would be nice for Dallas. You have Dwight Powell, who is going into, I believe, the last year of his contract. So if Harrison Barnes opts in his contract, Dallas is still going to have. This is for next season. My bad. So let me clear that up. This is for next season. If Harrison Barnes opts in his contract, Dallas will still have around $40 million plus to use. And if he opts out, that's a different story. Dallas will have around like $70 million, with Dwight Powell, his $9 million being gone. So Dallas has some flexibility going into this offseason based off either thing. So if Dallas ends up just, if Harrison Barnes ends up opting out, I mean, that's not really a big deal. Maybe they bring him back on a lower term deal, which that would be really weird for Harrison to do, so I expect him to opt in. But Dallas should have around at least $40-something million to spend on role players to put around Dennis, Luka, DeAndre. So I'm not sure what the free agent market's looking like. I don't know who's restricted, who's not. I definitely want to get into that soon. But yeah, guys, tell me if y'all think Dallas could potentially end up being like the next Houston Rockets. I mean, I'm just talking about the shape of Dallas. Their starting lineup kind of resembles a Houston Rockets lineup. I think you can compare them to Houston more than anybody. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Leave a like and subscribe. Tell me what y'all think. I'm out.